All right, it's just gone 7:15. I'm really excited, but I'm going to try to contain myself because I really have been looking forward to chatting to ZuluMecca for quite a while. And I'm happy to say she's here. Life happened, but she managed to make it here. What's up? How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Tell me, just to get you settled in, what's the best thing that happened to you today? No, for real. The
best thing that happened to me today, man, I had a great, I prayed in the morning, and that was great. Yeah, I love starting my day off like that.
What happens if you ever miss prayer time on a particular day? How does your day go after that?
See, I don't like, attaching guilt to prayer. You know, if I miss it was for a reason. So I don't like feeling anxious and guilty about it afterwards. I just carry on with my day. I hate a quick one in the heart, and I just just life goes on.
So your day doesn't spiral out of control. My day spirals out of control if I don't have like my prayer time, my journaling time, and then at like 1, 2, I'm like, why is this day so rubbish? And I'm like, didn't connect today. I'm very happy you're here. We're going to talk about quite a bit. I've been enjoying Fable a lot.
Thank you.
And then I even went back to Of Angels and Ancestors as well. So we're going to talk about quite a bit. I love you as an actress as well.
Thank you so much.
I just needed to say that. I especially loved you was on Diamond City.
Diamond City,
yes.
I
was Stofo
gangster.
Oh, Maran Stofo. That proposal scene, that was my thing. I was like, Bacho. So we're going to unpack a little bit more. I just wanted to get you settled in.
All right.
I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I kept,
I don't know, man. It's the things on the internet,
What are you worried about? What have you let go out there that you weren't happy?
No. Tell me what you found. Tell me what you've got first.
That's the safe bit. You smart. I like that. So what I found was 2 songs that you said are really, really important to you. So I'm going to play them for you just to get you a little bit more comfortable. So we're going to hear some Eminem and Dido with Stan, as well as Tupac with Dear Mama. And then we're going to unpack ZuluMecca's music after that. All right, it's just gone 26 minutes after 7 o'clock right here on The Element on Massive Metro. I was going to play ZuluMecca 2 songs, but I decided I'd rather speak to her. That makes a lot of sense. So we're going to get into it. So this is my first time interviewing you, right? And I would like for you to first start with ZuluMecca.
Right.
Why the name ZuluMecca?
The name ZuluMecca, or rather the incarnation ZuluMecca, has only been around for about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. I was everybody else under the sun. I must have changed my stage name like 5 times, like real talk.
Wow.
But nothing stuck because nothing felt real. Okay. Nothing felt like the truth until I rebranded for hopefully the last to final time into ZuluMecca.
Yes.
I might just pull a Prince and just keep going, but anyway, hopefully this is the last rebrand. And I just sat down and I meditated on it, and I said, whoever is the truth, let that be who I go forward with, who I am going forward in my career. And then I received ZuluMecca, and here I am.
Crazy. All right, so recently you gave us Fable, a parable, and I want to know how we got there, because when you look up what a parable is, the definition is it's a simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson, right? And normally it's a moral attitude or a religious principle, so it's a lesson around normally religion when you speak about parables and stuff. So talk to me about how we got to Fable.
Well, I have a whole other EP that is ready, and that was supposed to be the first drop under Stalo. And then man, we had a lot of conversations, and we explored having maybe like a single first, that's like a standalone single, just to introduce, you know, the partnership,
right,
you know, just to test the waters, you know, ease everybody into everything and seeing how we work together there. And then yeah, that conversation turned into a 3-piece. So I wrote these 3 songs, which are very different songs from one another,
yes,
but also especially the first 2 are very different to my usual style,
right,
of writing, you know. But I almost used you know, the song that you played at the top of the show, I don't know. Can I say the title? The full title?
I can't say it, but you could say it.
I could say it.
Yeah,
and be fine?
I can't say it.
Okay, cool. So the song "Do You Get Bitches"?
There it is.
I just had to. So I use the song "Do You Get Bitches" almost as a disclaimer,
right?
To say to people, yo, I might not always come with the high concept stuff. So if I did, simplify things and go for like something that is not necessarily considered, the hardest bars or the most complicated concept, would y'all still roll with it?
Right, yeah.
Would you guys still, so it's almost like a disclaimer for sort of going forward in my career, so that I'm not put in any kind of box.
Right.
Yeah.
When I listen to it, the million of times that I listened to it, right? Do you remember when we used to watch cartoons and there was a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other shoulder?
Yeah.
And I kind of got that feeling because it almost seemed like one particular part of you was having a conversation with another particular part of you. And it was almost like, yo, get over it.
Yeah.
You might need to do this thing.
Yeah.
And you just need to move with it. And I found it so strong. I actually want to go through some of the lines because I was just like, yo. But first of all, you open with "Take your pride, let it go, leave your ego at the door."
Yeah.
Why?
I can rap, and I can rap really well.
Yeah.
But there's a certain part of me when I step into studio that needs to leave the ego at the door, because when I step into studio, I need to be able to learn and to grow as an artist, especially if there's other artists in the studio, especially if there's other musicians in the studio.
Right.
So that's the most important thing for me, is to leave my ego at the door and be open to trying new things. If someone says, yo, okay, cool, the raps are great, but can you try
Get a singing nigga on the song?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Can we try that? Can we try, can we go for this? I need to be open and I need to be teachable. So that's the most important thing for me. That thought happens to me every time I step into the studio. It's like a conscious decision.
That's really dope. I love that.
Yeah.
And then there's "I'm through with the illusions that you can get rich through rap."
Come on.
Speak on it though.
Who is my question? You know what I mean? It's like, because the line after that is like, this boom and this bap won't get me that.
Right.
And it's facts. And obviously I'm making a comment on my experience firstly, not everybody's experience.
Right.
But I'm also making a comment on, what I feel like is the current state of the industry locally. You know? And you have to, if you're trying to make the money, the type of money that I want to make, which is a lot of it.
Yes.
It's that conflict of like, okay, I could stick to boom bap and I do it really well, and I could have, I could perform in maybe 2-3 festivals a year, but then, I want to be booked every weekend.
Right.
I want to,
and not just once a weekend. Right.
I want to travel within a weekend. I want to have like 10 shows or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make those trap numbers. I'm trying to make those Amapiano numbers. But I know currently that it's gonna be very difficult for me with the type of music that I make.
Right.
So that's what the song is about. It's like, yo, am I willing to make other types of music? It may not be another genre, but it may be like a subgenre within hip-hop.
Right.
Am I willing to sing on the hook myself? Am I willing to, you know what I mean, get collaborate with somebody that may not necessarily make the same type of music I make? Am I willing to adapt to what they've got going on because they're doing the numbers that I want to be doing?
Right.
Those are the questions that I'm asking myself.
But now when I'm listening to the joint and also listening to how you're explaining it now, there's that purist side that goes, but should you have to? Why should you have to?
Exactly.
How do you feel about that?
And the thing is, I wish I didn't have to. I wish I didn't even have to think about it or talk. I wish the song didn't have to be written.
Right.
To be quiet. I'm glad I did. It's doing very well.
Yeah.
But I almost wish I didn't have to go there. I wish that I could make the type of music I make, because I know I'm dope. But I wish it could carry me to where I want to be.
Right.
In the long term. I wish it could make all my dreams come true.
Yeah.
I wish that, I could make a life out of it and not just like, kind of be okay, because a lot of the time, and we know this, and a lot of people have been sort of maybe tweeting about it as of late, is like, there's this image in hip-hop that you have to uphold. I'm not interested in upholding that image. I'm interested in making money. it's not about appearing to make money, but I wish that there was a way that I could do all of that I want to do my way,
right?
And that's the conversation. It's like,
all right, so the title though. Right?
Yeah.
Especially because I mean when you see the title, one might think you're gonna go into the joint and then you're gonna hear that phrase over and over and over, but you don't. So why did you pick that part out specifically and be like, okay, this is the name of the joint?
Okay, so the first time Vaughn, the label head at Stay Low, first time he heard the joint, and it was still like I just recorded it, and I think we'd done some basic mixing on it. He walked in, because originally the title was Get Over Yourself, because we say that a few times, right?
Yes.
And he's like, nah, name of the song is Do You Get Bitches? And I'm like, what?
I just gotta tell you, my social media manager, right? She's on me because she loves the title of the joint,
right?
Especially for that emphasis, right at the end. So I was like, don't say it like that, because she doesn't say it like that on the song. But now you just said it like that, and now she's like,
Do you get bitches? That's what it is. That's the question. It's the $1 million question. But
so do you? I'm kidding.
Yo,
back to how we got to the title.
Let's not do that. Anything I say can and will be used against me one day. So
I don't want to be there. So we don't have to go down that rabbit hole. Cool. I don't want to be responsible.
For sure.
Yes, but you were still explaining how we got there. So Vaughn said that's the title.
That's the title of the song. And I mean, look, he's the strategy person, man. I just write the raps, but he's a strategy person, and I guess this is the effect that he wanted. You know what I mean? For people to hear it and want to know more. Right. About what it is. But yeah, that's like I'm saying, that's the $1 million question. It's like, okay, cool, now we hear you all spiritual and all that stuff. Yeah. But do you get bitches though?
Yeah, because that's what you say. You said enough about spirit. We know that you're gifted, but do you get I can't say.
You know what I mean? Oh man. Okay. but it's that. It's like, going back to Of Angels and Ancestors and even the track with Stogie, Food and Liquor, everything has sort of been hitting a particular note. Very different songs, but there has been a particular note that I hit because that's just who I am. Right. So sort of that spiritual thread, that through line throughout all my songs. But is that all I'm ever gonna rap about? Can I rap about something else? Those are questions that I ask myself. Right. Can I rap about something else?
Those are heavy chats to be having with yourself. Yeah. Especially when you speak on the spirit element, because that is a part of you, the person who creates the art.
Exactly.
Crazy. Yeah. Are we any closer to an answer to some of these questions?
Probably not. No. We'll see on the album.
Woo! Album on the way. All right. So we go from do you get chicks? Damn it. I really love the word. I just can't say it on this platform. And then we get to head over healing. What's going on? Head over healing featuring Moss Baby.
But you can say that title, but you can't say the other one?
Because this is also a hit.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm female dog though.
I could say female dog.
I'm playing with you.
I know you try to catch me slipping.
I know. I tried. It didn't work. I tried to bait you.
You need to understand, this is my realm. This is where I'm most comfortable. You might catch me slipping outside the studio, but not here. Cool. So let me move to head over healing.
Yeah.
That is a lot of toxicity and very unhealthy relationshiping and want versus need. Talk to me about that.
Well, I just have to say, it's a true story, but it's the old me. We don't live like that no more. Anyway, I had to just get that out the way. But yeah, it's definitely something that's happened to me. And it was a very toxic relationship, and there was a lot of attachment, right? To the point where I knew that I had a lot to deal with. I knew that I had a lot of trauma, to work through. But I was like, okay, cool. So if I go somewhere and someone gives me something to calm me down or to make me feel good, it cannot feel better than this because this feels good. But I mean, what growing up does and what self-awareness does is then it shows you that kind of good feeling, that kind of euphoria is not healthy.
Right.
Because all I've done is I've just replaced whatever it is the addiction was before. And it was an addiction to chaos, but I just picked another type of chaos.
Right.
So yeah, and then years later, I could write about it. I couldn't write about it while I was still in it.
Of course not. Yeah. What made you see it like that? What made you see it differently? Because I mean, when you're in it and you just want this comfort and this euphoria, and you know, you're even like, I'm not trying to go to therapy because they're gonna tell me that I'm not supposed to be here. You're not good for me, so I'm just not gonna do that because this is where I want to be. Yeah. So what happened? Either actually happened or what happened inside of you that made you go, actually, maybe I should go to therapy. Maybe I should detach from this thing. Maybe this is not as good for me as I might think. Yeah.
I mean, it was just a decision I made to prioritize healing in any form, and healing is ongoing and healing is every day, and I'm not gonna claim to be at my destination right now just in terms of how I deal with certain things. But it was just a decision I made. I was like, yo, actually I can't carry on like this. It's messy.
It's a bit wild.
It's also seeping into other areas of my life and sort of sabotaging other areas of my life. If I'm here, I'm missing auditions, I'm missing studio, I'm missing meetings. I wouldn't be here if I was still living like that, you know? So it was really bad, and it was like infiltrating other parts of my life and affecting them negatively. So it was just a decision I made. It was just a decision I had to make to be like, okay, cool, there has to be a switch, and I have to live differently. And then, you know, you start right at the beginning. Okay,
so now we're choosing healing overhead by the sounds of things.
Now we're doing both.
Okay, you heard it here first. Alrighty, so we just gave you a double play. You heard ZuluMecca with Starving, and then before that you heard ZuluMecca with Head Over Healing. Okay, I need to let you finish what you were saying. Dagger eyes are coming my way. She's like, yo! So I had asked you, are we choosing healing over head? And you said, nah, we're doing both. And you wanted to expand on that.
Yes, I wanted to say that because that what's important to me is balance. So after I made that decision that, okay, cool, I need to heal, I went to the other extreme where, you know, I wasn't doing anything, I wasn't talking to anybody, I isolated myself just from the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, the true test of how much I've healed was finding that balance where I can do both.
Right.
You know? So I just wanted to say that's why we do both. Because balance is important.
Hey man, head is healthy. I don't know why are you feeling so tight about it? Yeah. Alright, so then we move from Head Over Healing to Starving.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening there. You know, I pick up an anger at God, you know, kind of looking at the traditional understanding of religion and church and a pastor who's got a hell of a lot of money and that money is your money, but you don't have bread. So talk to me about Starving and some of the naughty things that you wanted to do on that song where you want to shoot the man.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like, it's definitely a God wound that's been sort of I've been picking at for a few years that obviously needs to heal, that I'm working on. But it's also, it's not even anger towards God so much. I got my own issues there,
right?
But it's just organized religion and the fact that firstly money is vilified and the pursuit of money is vilified, but then the people who are spreading these messages are not afraid of making money and are not afraid of showing us that they're making money, and are not afraid of taking our money so that they can support themselves,
right? Especially for churches which are traditionally on paper not-for-profit organizations.
Exactly. But you know, so there's a lot of, you know, anger, like you're saying, around that, but it's also just like, yo, like, I'm doing the most. And I mean, these are things, I'm a storyteller, right? So when I talk about shooting people, I'm not gonna shoot nobody, you know, but that's somebody's truth.
To know.
And definitely not yet. There's somebody's
What is going on? I'm going to assume that one day in the future you're gonna play a character that's a sniper, and that is how you're gonna shoot people. Please don't confess to crimes here. I don't want to be a witness. I'm not trying to go to court for nothing.
It's not a confession if
Please.
it hasn't happened yet.
Well, don't. What's that word? Don't prophesy.
I feel you.
There it is.
I feel you. What I'm saying is, it's like I'm doing, like it's somebody's story, right? And it's a story that I've chosen to tell. I've chosen to be a vessel to. But yeah, it's like, you know, people who like do the most, man, and they are praying all day every day, and they are all day at church, and they are 3 days a week at church, and they go from work to church and to work to church, you know, and it just seems like the life isn't getting better for them.
100%.
It just seems like struggle is their portion. Struggle is their lot in life. So that's, you know, that's where I'm coming from with that. I don't go to church, like the building itself. So no, it's not necessarily my 100% story. Like I said, I ain't shot nobody yet, but
lay it, exactly, guys.
But yeah, it's definitely something that I feel like I needed to say, man,
right?
Because especially in that second verse, you know, that's when I was really angry. You know what I mean? Like, yo, actually this is pissing me off. So yeah, like,
but it will piss you off, because you know those people that you're speaking about, the people who you say it's like struggle is their portion, right? Those will be the first people to say God will provide.
Do you see now?
And it's painful. It's painful to watch. And if you've ever been the child of a super Christian mother or father and ever gone through a period of difficulty, you've heard God will provide.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're just like, what is that?
That God will provide. God has a plan. You know, that's part of God's plan. No.
Right. I like the fact that you mentioned it. We're going to take a quick ad break, but then I want to pull at that thread, because while I was listening, I was also, what came to my mind was, okay, God has a plan, all this stuff, but also there's something that we like to say these days: trust the process, and we say it especially when we're struggling, going through a hard time. Trust the process. And I want to know your thoughts on that, but on the other side of this. All right, we came straight back because we just want to keep talking about dope stuff. gotta be real careful. We gotta talk about dope stuff. All right, so we were talking about God will provide, God will make a plan, and you know, for me, I was saying trust the process. We seem to say it a lot, and we seem to say it only when stuff is not good.
Yeah,
you know, they were like, oh, you gotta trust the process. Oh, you don't have money, not trust the process. It's gonna come. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that? Why have we normalized?
What is this process, firstly? Right, because I think that's, you know, what I speak about in the song. Maybe that's the process. Like, I'm charging my crystals, aligning my chakras, and visiting temples. Like, is that the process? Is that like I'm just manifest all the time? Say your affirmations every day. I am wealthy. I am healthy. You know what I mean? It's like, is that the process? Right. What is the process? I can't trust something I don't know. You know what I mean? And it's also difficult to trust something that you haven't seen provide a result. You know, so for me, it's like I don't know where any of this comes from, because for me, the God that I believe in and the guides that I travel with want abundance for me. Yes. And will support me in my pursuit of this abundance, obviously not at the expense of other people, right? Which is what my gripe is. It's like not at the cost of other people's livelihoods. Yes. But for me, my personal journey is not, I'm gonna just sit here because, you know what, I'm gonna eat every day at least. No, I don't want to just eat every day. You know what I mean? Life must be abundant. Yeah. All those good things must be there for you in abundance. I believe that's what God wants for all of us. Right. You know? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. So then what should we say rather than trust the process? If you had to replace this nice buzz phrase that we've got going on, trust the process, what would you say instead? Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Do the work. Get the money. Yo. I wouldn't lie, I was expecting like
some philosophical, like
B.
that nugget. I'm like, yeah, I got that with me. Yo, say nothing.
Sometimes we be talking too much, man. Just don't say nothing.
All right. Sure. So when we kicked off, we were talking about, fable, a parable, and again, the definition is a simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson, right? Now, when you listen to "Do You Get Chicks," you can take a particular lesson from that. When you listen to "Head Over Healing," you can take a particular lesson from that. Starving, a particular lesson from that. But these 3 joints are in one place under the umbrella of Fable. So what is the one thing that you would want for us to take away from this 3-piece?
The one thing that I always advocate for is telling the truth. Whatever that means for you and whatever form that comes in, just tell the truth. And then from there, everything will start to fall into place. Once you tell the truth, you make space for healing. Once you tell the truth, you make space for bitches. I'm playing.
Yeah, you heard it. No. You want them chicks?
Nah.
ZuluMecca's got you.
I meant, once you tell the truth.
We know what you made, don't lie.
Once you tell the truth, you make space for the road you're supposed to take. You know what road you're supposed to take with your career. You know what you're supposed to do with your music or whatever it is you do. So yeah, that's just tell the truth, man.
Just tell the truth. All right. Even about the girls, the dollies. You see, I can say
the
dollies.
Do you get dollies?
Personally, no.
Oh, okay.
So now that we've unpacked Fable, I just want to chat to you just a little bit. So sure. I was watching a conversation that you were having with Vaughn. It's on the Stay Low YouTube if you want to check it out. It's been there for like 2 weeks, and I really love that conversation. There are a couple of things. Yo, can I have my phone? Because my notes on this are on my phone. There are a couple of things that you mentioned there, but one of the things that really sticks out is you were saying to Vaughn, you're like, "Hey, Vaughn, I promise I'll give you a happy song one of these days. I promise." Yeah. But as you were unpacking that part of the conversation and fleshing that out, you mentioned the fact that right now, or recently, maybe not right now, but you've been writing from 2 particular places, from spirit and from sadness. And I found it so interesting, and I wanted to know a little bit more about it, because we've heard Fable now, and I'm guessing the EP that you mentioned just now is the one that you guys were making reference to at the beginning, because I was like, what? What? No, it's 3 joints. What's going on? Nonetheless, so when you're writing, where does spirit lead you to now? When you're writing, is in the past couple of weeks, couple of months, when you're writing now, where has it taken you to? And then the second part is, why are you so sad?
Well, the great news is, for me, I'm not as sad as I was during that process, because we also shot that video a while ago. All right. We're just waiting for the right time to sort of make the announcement, also wrote those songs a while ago, and I had just pretty much lost everything. Oh, like hectic. I'm talking about physically, like lost everything. But I won't go into too much detail. I do unpack it on the EP. Okay. But yeah, no, it was a crazy time for me, and it just felt like the opportunity to make this EP came as a sort of like a saving grace for me, because I could just pour it all into the EP, which is why it's, I said to him, like one day I'm gonna give you a happy song, but I don't have it right now.
I'm not there right now.
I can't access that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not there anymore, which is great, because,
I'm happy to hear that.
this has definitely been a year and the last few months of restoration, and I'm finding myself again.
I love that.
I'm finding myself again, and I'm what I mean, I'm believing my own hype, which isn't always a good thing, but I think it was important for me, because I was on the other extreme where I was like, I can't rap.
Yeah, because you touched on that. I'm a terrible
rapper.
Yeah, you touched on that as well. We spoke about how acting. You know that. Like at that point in time when you were speaking about it, you're like, I know this. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do this audition. I'm gonna get this part. I'm sure of it. You didn't use those words exactly, but that's what I got was, I am sure of this. But you did say that you didn't feel as safe within the music,
Within
but
the
that
music.
you're starting to now.
For sure, absolutely.
What changed? It's beautiful. It's a very beautiful transition. What changed that got you to start to feel a little bit safe? And I like the way that you put it. You said that you started to feel safe within the risk that you were taking.
Yeah, because it's always a risk. Releasing music and just hoping people will like it and hoping it's gonna go somewhere is always a risk. And also hearing people potentially not like it and tell you why they don't like it.
Yeah.
It's always it's definitely an emotional risk. But what started to feel safe was because after sort of losing. So when I did Of Angels and Ancestors, it was all me, like in my own studio. I recorded, mixed, and mastered everything myself.
Wow.
And then part of the things that I lost was that studio. So it was in the fire, by the way. Anyway, no, we're fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
You asked.
I know.
So
I
here
asked,
we are.
I'm listening.
Said, Mecca, why are you so sad? Here it is.
Yes.
No, I'm joking.
The problem is I'm an empath, so I'm like,
feel
oh,
you.
my
Oh god, no.
the fire.
Yeah. So that happened, and I pretty much lost everything.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was also a decision for me to not live in the loss. It was a decision for me to not be so attached to the things that I lost that I feel like I lost myself, because I'm
girl.
still here.
Them is them nuggets. I like that.
You
Keep going.
know, I'm still here, and my spirit is me. Not even my body's still here.
Yeah.
You know, the talent that I have is still here. The hope that I have is still here. The prayers that I have are still here. My voice is still here. Let me take that and move forward with it. Yeah. So it's very much came from a sort of mental place and a mental decision.
Yeah.
And what helped is then, meeting people like Vaughn and Shooter and the people that I work with that were willing to accommodate me speaking about that and accommodate me making the music my therapy session. And just laying it all on there without pressurizing me to, okay, but we need a club joint, but now we need this kind of joint. So just let me be, which is great.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot.
I'm so happy that you have that, and that you're starting
I'm not sad
to.
anymore.
Yeah. I'm happy that you have that, and that you're starting to feel more confident in your abilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's always so terrible. I have to use proper words. I think it's so terrible when you.
I know what you wanted to say, though.
Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly the one. I think it's terrible when you are so passionate about something and you just go, but then you get knocked. You know, when life knocks you. When you walk into a space and you're like, I'm sure of this. I'm sure of what I'm doing. I'm sure of myself, and then life goes. Is it? Okay. And then you're like, okay, no, okay, that was a little scratch. Let me get back up. And then you go again, and then life just kicks you in the face, and you're like, okay. But this thing still keeps you awake at night. It's still burning inside of you. I think it's just really, really terrible when you feel like that, when you love something so much and it starts to feel like it doesn't love you back.
For sure. Yeah.
So I'm happy that you are no longer feeling like that.
Thank you.
All right. So before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you. So we're moving a little bit back to of angels and ancestors. Yeah. What is the difference between an angel and an ancestor?
Okay. Wow. You went there. Cool. How much time you got? No, I'm joking.
I'm here.
I'll summarize. Well, basically, at any and every given time, every human being is traveling with their guides, right? And these guides take on different departments, and they come from different places. Some of them may be related to you, some of them may not. Some of them may have lived in this incarnation and been of the flesh, and some of them may have never been, but they guide you and they protect you, and you can call upon them at different times, and God assigns them to different departments, like the same people maybe that you might ask to be like, yo, can you guys help me get this job, are not necessarily the same people that you go to if you've just been broken up with or you're feeling heartbroken, you know what I mean? So yeah, there are angel guides and then there are ancestor guides, and they just occupy different spaces in people's lives. So yeah, it just depends what you need at the time, and then you can call upon your angel guides. Depends what you need at the time, you can call upon your ancestor guides. But man, if we were to get into that, We need a whole other hour. So that's where I'm gonna.
So
that's where I'm gonna
the reason
stop.
I was asking you is because when you think about a lot of the times you hear people, like when someone passes away, they'll say, "I've gained an angel," right?
Yeah.
And it seems like having an angel is a lot more acceptable than the idea of someone's passed away and now I have an ancestor.
Yeah.
One of them is a little bit more palatable than the other, and I just wanted to pick your brain so that we can start to get people to have that conversation about, for you, and even anybody who's listening, for you, how do you understand an angel and an ancestor, and why is one more acceptable than the other, and how do you understand yourself in relation to the two?
For sure. I mean, it's that stigma, right, around particularly African spirituality. It makes me mad.
Please don't shoot us.
Mad.
Right.
No, not tonight. Yeah, so there's a lot of stigma around African spirituality based on the fact that it was quite literally outlawed. It was illegal to practice at some point.
Yeah.
This is the thing that our, ancestors and all that stuff, this is the thing that was fine and it was normal and it was accepted. But at some point, the goal was to replace it with, I won't get into the other things, but the goal was to replace it. Yeah, and then it was outlawed and it was illegal. So when it was outlawed and it was illegal, there was a lot of obviously false stories going around about what it was. People called it possession, demon possession. All of a sudden now it's demons, you know what I mean? And that makes me mad because it's not the truth. So when you see a lot of people will say like, there's so many, everybody's tossing these days, there's so many sangomas. They've always been sangomas, they just couldn't be out there. They just couldn't
live out loud.
They couldn't live out loud. And now these days with social media, obviously you're going to see more of it. But also at the same time, there is more than ever a need for healing. So of course there's more sangomas, because someone in the other realm is going, there needs to be a sangoma in every family, because this is crazy what's happening out here. There needs to be restoration and healing in every family. So yeah, it's just a stigma around that, but I'm a firm believer in like I said, man, African spirituality, and as well as a religious free God. I
actually understand what you mean.
A God not burdened by religion. That's what I believe in. So yeah.
And I mean, you mentioned when you're talking to Vaughn in that conversation that you want to be super intentional about sharing that through your craft, through the music.
That's my purpose.
Oh, now I can hear myself.
Right.
It was like magic, because I can't hear myself. Then I heard zing, and I could hear myself. Right, so we're back. Lot is going on, but we were talking about, I was saying that I was listening to the conversation that you were having with Vaughn, and you spoke about how African spirituality is super important for you to share and contribute to a positive conversation around African spirituality through your craft. No, absolutely. I was saying that's my purpose. That's why I'm here. It's not to say that that's all I'm here for, but it's definitely a big part of why I'm here, and why music was given to me, and also why particularly hip-hop was given to me as the medium of communication. So I'm very grateful to be that vessel. And it's like, that's why I write songs like Do You Get Bitches, because it's not to say that that's all I'm gonna do and that's all the type of music I'm gonna make. No, I have a lot more in me. I'm very versatile, but that's basically, that's like the core of why I fight so hard for this thing. All right, so we need to go to our houses, at some point. Why? The way she just rolled her eyes like, what? Really? Is
so
that
fun? Yeah.
I'm also having a really, really good time. But before, we all need to go to our homes, because I'm assuming everybody has somebody that cares about them. You spoke about an EP that's in the cut. What else is going on? Things that you can actually speak on. What else can we expect from you musically? What else can we expect from you in terms of when we see you, when you're being Stove and all these other incredible people? What else is going on that we can look forward to?
Cool. No, so there's definitely an EP coming out. Oh, before then, actually, we're shooting a video for Do You Get Bitches, which is Very interesting video.
I think if it had a different title, I'll be like, can I come? But now I'm like, I think I'm okay.
All right, no, you're gonna watch it, then you're gonna wish you'd asked. I'm just saying, it's gonna be fire.
I like to do behind the scenes coverage of things.
I got you.
I'll be there. Maybe not within the video, but I'll be there.
All right, I got you. No. So that one's we're gonna make that happen. I'll hit you up for that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very interesting. I think it might get a lot of tongues wagging, but that's what I do. So so we video for Do You Get Bitches. And then on the music side as well, I'm trying to like work with a lot of people, so I'm in studio with people, so you might hear some collaborations.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I already have something with Pretty, obviously.
Shout out to Pretty Aggie.
Yeah, for sure. On his project Soil, which dropped last year. So him and I have been working on some other stuff as well. Also been working with Maclera. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm out here trying to
exciting,
spread my wings.
Yeah.
And then on the acting side, there's a show coming out called Blood Psalms that's coming out really soon. I can't say when, but you're going to see it
I just thought you
everywhere.
wanted to know that the 15th of March is such a great date. Did you know that? Did you know that it is a legendary kind of date?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Ides of March, and it may just be my birthday, but I'm just saying, it's a good day. I mean, I know you can't tell me anything, but I'm just saying, if anybody can hear me, the 15th of March is a good day.
Okay. No, I hear you.
Yes.
I heard you. Loud and clear.
I wasn't exactly whispering. So.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I have coming out now. Just in the near future. But there's a lot of exciting stuff, and there's some I can't mention, but there's a lot of exciting stuff, and I'm really excited to be on this journey, man. And share this journey with everybody. So
before we say bye-bye, describe the rest of 2022 for you. What do you intend for it to be? Manifesta. Affirmation. I affirm that 2022 is a year of
restoration.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because it's facts.
Felt it in my spirit. I knew you were going to say that.
Because it's the truth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to be watching this year of restoration. Thank you so much for pulling up. I had so much fun.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, so you definitely have to come back.
For sure.
Hit me up. I'll come to the Do You Get Chicks video shoot.
You're gonna have to say this title at some point.
I will. I will.
Are you gonna find your way to set if you can't even say the title? You know what I'm saying?
No, man. Listen. Let me just break it down to you. And I don't know why you don't get it, because you're supposed to get it. Because sometimes you are Mandi Sanduna. Sometimes. Yes. And then you are ZuluMecca.
Yeah.
It's different parts of the brain.
I feel you.
So there are things that ZuluMecca can say that maybe Mandisa can't say.
You know what?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So here as Azizzar the Pristine Queen, I can't say these things, but as Z's in real life, I can say a lot.
Okay.
And it's Z's who's going to be driving.
I feel you.
To the music video shoot. You understand?
All right.
All right. So we need to go because our time been done. Big shout out to ZuluMecca. I really appreciate you for coming through. Thank you for the incredible music, and also for just your talents. You're such a treat to watch. You're such a treat to listen to, and never ever forget that if nothing else, you have at least one fan. At least, at the very least.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna go. I gotta close officially. So remember, in everything that you do, make sure that you are in your element, and while being in your element, keep it pristine. I'm outie, back again tomorrow night, 6 to 8 p.m. All for the love of hip hop.